Hi, everybody. How are you? Happy Tuesday. I'm trying something new where I'm going to be doing Tuesday tips. So I'm going to hop on here and I'm going to share with you guys some tips and tricks to help you live your healthiest and your best life. And I also see that my connection is weak, so I hope that you guys can see me okay. Okay, I'm back. I realized that I just paused it for a second. So just making sure my connection is good. So anyways, yes, welcome to Tuesday Tips. And again, this is an opportunity for me to share with you guys some of my top tips on how to live your healthiest and your best life ever. And the topic that I wanted to discuss with you guys today is very relevant for the season that we are going into, the holiday season. I am in full holiday mode. I don't know about you. I have my Christmas tree up. You guys want to see it? It's so pretty. I love it. Anyways, so the topic that I'm going to start with today is something called how to not overeat during the holidays. And this is something that I struggled with a lot myself, as well as I know a lot of the people that I work with struggle with. And this wasn't something that I necessarily just struggled with during the holiday season. It was actually kind of a year-round thing for me, where anytime I'd be at a celebratory experience or dinner or whatever it would be, I would feel the need to overeat and overindulge. And I had these certain trigger foods that would always be my go-to overindulgent foods. And one in particular was cheese. So cheese was 100% my trigger food for the longest time. And I would find myself in situations where, we might be out at a wine and cheese party or, whatever it might be. And I would be the one who parked myself in front of the cheese and probably ate an entire wheel of cheese. Like an entire wheel of brie cheese. I know that is not, like that definitely happened at some point. And what would happen is that I would leave that party feeling a lot of guilt and a lot of shame, coupled with bloat and discomfort that inevitably comes with eating that much cheese. And at one point I decided, I can't keep doing this. This is really destructive to my health and to my body. My weight was fluctuating, my skin was breaking out. I had such anxiety around food and obsessive thoughts about it. And as I started to research more on what food does to your body and how cravings affect your body, I found out actually that if you're depriving yourself of a certain food, that can lead to obsessive thoughts about those foods. And those obsessive thoughts about food can lead to compulsive, erratic behaviors around food. And I was like, wow, that's me. I have compulsive, erratic behaviors around cheese. And I came across a really fantastic resource that really helped shift this behavior for me. And it's a resource called Intuitive Eating. It's one of the best books I've ever read as far as healing your relationship with food. And there's a principle in this book called Making Peace with Food. And I want to share it with you guys. So it says, call a truce, stop the food fight. Give yourself unconditional permission to eat. If you tell yourself that you can't or shouldn't have a particular food, it can lead to intense feelings of deprivation that build into uncontrollable cravings and often binging. When you finally give in to your forbidden foods, eating will be experienced with such intensity that it usually results in quote-unquote Last Supper eating and overwhelming guilt. So when I read this, I was like, wow, that's me. And it's time to stop. I can no longer go on in this food fight. And the important piece of this was giving myself unconditional permission to eat. And at first that was really scary. I was like, what do you mean unconditional permission to eat? I can eat as much cheese as I want. If I do that, then I'm going to eat all the cheese, all of it. And yeah, that was the case for a little while. But ultimately, something kind of crazy happened. As I continued to cultivate a mind-body connection and honor my hunger and my fullness, which is something that I've talked to you guys about before, I realized that I didn't like cheese as much as I thought I did. So I know those of you who knew the old Holly know that, like, oh my God, like she was obsessed with cheese. And I found out, I'm like, yeah, I can be satisfied with just a couple of slices and not feel the need to park myself in front of the cheese table and eat it all. And that was really empowering for me to find out about myself. I was like, wow, like I don't like it that much. And, you know, this wasn't an overnight process. It was something that definitely took work to figure out for myself. But I wanted to leave you guys with some key foundational principles behind the idea of making peace with food that might help you with any of your quote-unquote trigger foods. So these principles are taken directly from the book Intuitive Eating. And the first one is to throw out any preconceived notion that certain foods are quote-unquote good or certain foods are quote-unquote bad. So what this means is that no one particular food has the ability to make you fat or to make you thin. Also, no one particular food has the ability to make you a good or a bad person. So it's time for us to really take that languaging out of our vernacular when it comes to food and to see food as for what it is. Like, yes, it is pleasurable, but it's also nourishing for our body and it's life-sustaining for our bodies, not quote-unquote good or bad. Another key is to eat what you really want. Yes, eat what you want. And this one is really scary for a lot of people because if they feel like, well, if I eat whatever I want, all I'm going to eat is pizza. All I'm going to eat is French fries. All the bad things, that's all I'm going to eat. And sure, yeah, maybe that might be the case at first when you first start giving yourself unconditional permission to eat. But ultimately, our bodies want to feel good. And they will send us messages when it doesn't feel good. And as we begin to tune in and listen to those messages, we will begin to crave and naturally choose those foods that are most uplifting and most energizing and nourishing for our bodies, as opposed to the foods that make us feel sluggish or miserable. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that we can never eat those play foods ever again. The last one is eating without obligatory penance. So what this means is stop bargaining with yourself. Stop saying like, okay, well, I had a second helping of mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving, so I'm going to fast tomorrow. I'm just not going to eat anything at all. Or I'm going to run 2 extra miles on the treadmill to make up for that piece of pumpkin pie that I had, and it'll be all good. And the problem with that is that it's just not sustainable. That's not sustainable behavior. It's not healthy behavior for your body, nor is it healthy behavior for your mind. So those are 3 guiding principles for you guys to start to introduce into your life as you begin to make peace with food for yourself and give yourself unconditional permission to eat. And I know that this can be really scary and confusing and frustrating at first once you start to hear it. Like, many of you might be thinking like, yeah, I cannot give myself unconditional permission to eat. If I do that, I am going to way overeat, I'm going to binge, I'm going to lose all of the hard work that I've already put into like this body. And if you're feeling that way, I would love to invite you to explore an opportunity that I'm offering for the month of December. It's a new group coaching program offering that I have, and it's called the Healthy Through the Holidays Group Coaching Program. And really, it's an opportunity for you to be able to successfully navigate the thrilling and exciting, indulgent, pleasurable time of the holiday season without the guilt and the frustration and the discomfort and the bloat and just overall blah that oftentimes comes with it. And really have someone to support you and hold you accountable to maintaining your health goals, as well as a group of people, like-minded individuals who are going through the same experience as you are. So if that's something that you think would be helpful for you, I would love to invite you to explore it further. I have provided a link at the bottom of this video for you to click on and read more about the program and see if it's something that you think would be helpful for you as you yourself are navigating this holiday time period and trying to keep yourself from feeling the guilt and the shame that can come with overindulging at the holidays. So go ahead and click on that link if you think it would be helpful for you. And if you have any questions about it at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You know how to get a hold of me. And I hope that this video was inspiring to you and that it was of service to you. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. Bye.